All right, y'all. We are live.
It's happening right now.
Talking about, that's when I said, put your cheesy smiles on. That's what I meant. All right, y'all. So thanks for joining us today on Smart Business Moves. I'm Liz Trotter, and my guest host today is Olu August. And guess who we have with us today? Libby DeLucien. Super excited. Libby, you've been on with us a few different times, but I think we've always talked about the same thing. So I think it's going to be exciting for people to hear something new from you. Hey, Denise, good to see you.
So it's going to be old, but new, but more new than old.
Okay. I always love more new than old, but you can't get away from the basics. There's just no way around that. There are some things that are foundational to your business. And we have to have new ways of doing old things, but you can't get away from the old things. The old things are what they are. Hey, Chris, good to see you. But I did want to say real quick, because y'all were talking about Colby when we first came on, and I don't know how much people would have heard. For anybody that knows about Colby or doesn't know about Colby, you want to give us a quick rundown on at least the 4 different numbers there and what they might mean, Libby?
Oh, sure. So we're huge Colby fans here. We give it to everybody in our office. I'm just looking up one of the scores that got emailed to me today. But with Colby, it's testing your natural work abilities or skills. And so Paul was saying, or Ricardo, or
confusing everyone,
that he's in transitioning out of his name to a different name. And I said, my Colby said I was in transition too, which means it asked me, are you going through a major life change, a divorce? And I'm like, no, I think my brain is crazy. But so it measures
that you're in a period of transition. That's the time.
My phone is going off. So it measures a few things. It measures, are you a fact finder, right? Are you are you a follow through? Are you high or low in follow through? It measures a quick start. So most of us entrepreneurs are really high at quick start. And then, are you an implementer? Do you like to work with your hands or your brain? So Colby is super important to us here in Organize It and WootRecruit. We give everyone who has an office position a Colby score. And we actually put it next to their name in our accountability chart so that it better helps us work with each other. Because if you're a really high fact finder, it's going to slow you down. It's going to drive me flipping crazy.
Yeah. And people need to know that it's not that you're just trying to give them grief and holding back. That's just their natural style. So, that's great. You did a great job of explaining that. So Colby is similar to DISC. When you're talking about DISC, you'll talk about, it's different in terms of, one is we're talking just behavior, and one is we're talking a different type of skill in your natural skill. But how it is conveyed to people is very similar. So when you're talking about DISC, you talk about your style, what behavioral style you are. You might say, I'm a high SI, I'm a DI, I'm a DC, whatever. And Colby, you use 4 numbers that are telling you exactly what you are. So that's what Chris is posting here. He's an 8533. And so you might hear these numbers from people. They'll say that they are a 7382, although 8 is very high. You don't see a ton of 8s.
So let me tell you about Chris and his 8. So he's an 8 in fact finder, which drives me crazy. I'm like, Chris, by the way, Chris is my husband, for everybody who doesn't know. Chris, what do you want for dinner? And he wants to give me the scientific answer for dinner. And
I'm like, it's a breakdown of the pizza on the Roman shield.
Just what do you want to eat? That's all I want to know.
But it is nice to know. It's very insightful for your office to learn about themselves.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, no. People love anything where they're learning about themselves. What were we going to say, Olu?
How often are you guys looking at that within the company to make sure that everyone can know each other's style or remember it at least?
So we have it's next to their names in our EOS tools.
Okay.
So it's mine is a 5 star because I broke it. So it's next to their name, so we're often reminded of it. There are some companies that have it like on their door or on the
Name
computer.
tags.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name
Name
tags,
tags is another popular place.
And they say that your Colby score doesn't change.
Yeah,
Which
they
I
say
find-
that, but
I find that interesting because I've changed so much.
mine has changed too. So I don't know if I just didn't answer correctly, like the first time, second time, third time. I don't know, but they're close though. The graph stays the same. So, but just like off a little bit. So that's interesting. All right. Well, we're not here talking about Colby today. I just wanted to make sure that everybody had a quick understanding in case they heard any of that little bit that we started with there. Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you know more about yourself and who you are and how you are, Chris, to go to your point about and your marriage, I believe that all of your relationships benefit because you understand yourself, and then you're also interested in understanding why the other person is the way that they are and what they're doing. Okay, get me started. Stop commenting, Chris. I can't stop myself. It's a hot button for me. I always like this topic. All right, so today we're talking sales and marketing. And what specific topic are we talking about today, Libby?
So I wanted to cover really something that's near and dear to me. And as you guys all know, I'm the hiring person. I love hiring. I love recruiting. But I want to talk about your employment branding strategy. So it's branding. And what is important? What does it look like? A lot of people don't even understand what employment branding or employee branding is. And do you have a strategy behind it? How do you use it? What is it used for? And how important is it? So we have turned ours into, that is the only branding we do now, is more the employment branding, because it works both sides and really needs to be in line with your customer brand. You can't have one brand that looks like this on your website. You can't see my hands. And then because those Indeed applicants or somebody's going to go over and look at your brand, right? And if it's not in line with what you said, that could affect so many things in your business.
It's going to feel like a different company. I don't know what to think. It can feel like, what's the truth? Even though you didn't say anything that was not in alignment. I am actually going to real quick post your website here to WootRecruit so people can have a quick look and see.
Well, you should do the Organize It website. That is where we really.
Organize.com?
It's organizeitswfl.com. Can't organize it. I'm trying.
Libby, one thing that I loved, I remember we added each other in February. Was it February after QDS? I automatically loved your branding, and there was a lot of continuity with it. And I'm really excited to learn more about this employee branding from you, because I remember actually, this is me being open here. I have screenshots of your brand, of some things that you did on your Facebook for Organize It. I'm like, it is so clean, and I'm not the design guy. I can't like put nice design together. So who's the brainchild behind all this? Is it you that's hands-on on this?
No. So it used to be me, and I made the decision, oh God, how long, to bring it in-house, bring my marketing in-house, because I wanted control, not because I'm a control freak, which I kind of am. It's because I wanted to convey a brand that if you weren't in it here, you couldn't portray it. So I made the decision about a year ago to bring my marketing in-house. And it was the best decision we ever made. I'm a huge Marcus Sheridan fan, right? Loved the video. They Ask You Answer the book. I got to see him speak, love him. And I did it before I actually even read the book and seen Marcus Sheridan. But when recruiting started to become harder, and I looked like every other person's website, like a stock picture, or you didn't even know what city we were located in. I wanted to get control of it. So I brought my marketing in-house. I found an amazing young gentleman who had just graduated from marketing. And I don't know what his minor was, but marketing, it's a 4-year degree.
nice.
I took who, not how to the extreme and told him what I was looking for, like what was important to me. And he's in this office every day. Well, he worked from home one day because he's like, I need quietness so I can write a blog. So he works from home one day, but he's in this office every day, talking to the cleaners, talking to the organizers, answering the phone from customers. He's phenomenal at sales. I love, he put himself through college at a call center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he does our sales training, but sales isn't what like gets him excited. So he does our branding, and he took what I wanted, and I see him all the time. And, you know, at first he would ask me, how's this look? And I'm like, it's freaking amazing. Like, you know, keep going, keep running with it. So he shoots video, he shoots still pictures, he goes in the field, he schedules his time in the field. None of our clients have turned us down, because everyone's like, how do you get in these houses? We ask.
Yeah.
You know, he's an employee, he's background checked. He sends a nice little text that says, hey, we want to spotlight one of our cleaners because we want to recognize them. And here's an example of what we want to do in your home. And we promise we're going to protect your privacy. And he has shot in some amazing videos. And the cleaners, the technicians love it. They come in the office and are like, is the video ready? Is it ready? Is it up? Can I share it? Like, you know, and we've gotten a few, they have thousands of views organically. Like Winner, I think she has the most, and she's like at 26,000 views.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
And we're not.
I know you brought a little PowerPoint here today. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen, share that, and then also I'm going to have you organize it SWFL so that people can see.
Should I share it in Facebook?
You
mean on my screen?
Yeah, on your screen here, so we can all see it. Oh,
Okay.
I just realized my son must have had an early day because he is outside riding his motorcycle. So it doesn't.
It's the last week of school, man. Well, it's the last week of school here.
No, he's old, Libby.
Oh.
He has a bunch of his toys in our garage, and he's going to the dunes, so he's picking up like some toys here. But I see him out riding around. Uh-oh.
Okay. So first I'll share with you guys, just give me 1 second. I'll share first the Facebook page.
Okay.
Then I'll go into the website. Let me share a screen too. I have 2 screens, so bear with me. Okay. I'm not sure if it worked.
I see it. Let me see if I can pop it up. There it is.
Okay. So first, I'm just going to dive into our Facebook page. And so our Facebook page and Instagram mirror each other. We use Hootsuite, so we can kind of get a gist of, is it getting traction? How many views is it getting? So we are really focused. We have a very unique brand. We've decided that all of our pictures are going to be in black and white.
No.
Because we couldn't get the same color, like tone, across the board. And so Boris knows, his name's Boris. You cannot recruit Boris, guys. Knows that I'm like
LinkedIn.
Really, really particular. Like I just want it to look clean and I want it to look the same. So we're in Southwest Florida, and right now we're starting a summer cleanse program because everybody likes to cleanse during the summer. So we're doing some add-ons. Everybody knows them. We already do them, but we're just rebranding them in a different way. You know, like Lanai cleaning, Lanai refresh laundry, all that good stuff. And so we love to feature our cleaners, and you will not see on here just pictures of a clean house or anything else. It is, or videos of me, right? I said I love Marcus Sheridan. Doing what's included in a deep clean, pricing. I'm trying to get to one of our videos. So Boris makes all of our videos, and this one it's full of all of our cleaning technicians and organizers and their moms and kids. So like this was a special we did for Mother's Day, and we made sure that every single technician was in here because if they didn't have kids, they had a mom for Mother's Day. Mm-hmm. So we really focus on trying to feature them. And we just use team pictures. So I know my colors are different for a cleaning company, but it was originally started as an organizing company, and now we do professional organizing and residential cleaning only. This is an amazing video that he shot. Let's go. I'm trying to open it. Oh.
Give me full energy when you're rolling with me. That's my one policy. That's my one policy. Let's go. Give me full energy. Full energy. Let's go.
I'm trying to close it. I can't close it.
I like the house. The house
is beautiful.
Yeah, I do like the video too. I didn't mean to say I don't like the video. I do like the video, but I also like the house.
So this is what our branding has turned into, and our employees love it. They love it, and believe it or not, our clients love it. You'll see them comment on here. I think somebody commented like, "That's my house." I don't see the comments probably because I'm signed in as a different person. And so we, just his pictures alone, like 1,110 engagements. And so he loves to film. He loves to write content. So he loves to market. So, or work on branding. And so that is kind of the direction we've gone. And that is what our Facebook page is full of, is cleaners.
Yeah, it's nice. So your branding is, the purpose is to show the world that you really value your employees and who you have, and that those people are kind of the core of your business. The people are the core more than anything else. That's what I would get from that. Is that the brand that you're trying, the message that you're trying to convey?
Yes, absolutely. That they come first. This might sound wrong, but my customers don't come first right now. My employees do. And I had to learn that the hard way starting out. Organize It is a fairly new company, especially with the cleaning. It's only about 4 years old. Where I did organizing for 2 or 3 years prior, but it was just me. That's it. And then we evolved into Organize It more of a brand and with employees, and then we added the cleaning, and so it's grown tremendously from there. We feature our cleaners on every piece of our website that you can think of. And at first, when Boris told me that he wanted to go with just black and white, I was kind of like, ooh, that's kind of boring. But then and then he told me why, and then we accent everything with the orange.
Yeah.
So it has really helped us in that way. I'm a huge video fan. As you guys can tell, there is video on it. I try to put video on every single page of our website. That is what we're known for. Our clients are like, "Oh, you're Barbara from the videos." See, look, I got another name too. And so they love it. They actually think that they know me, because part of our brand is how much we communicate through video.
Yeah,
that is one of our marketing strategies. And go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
And then I've even went as far as really taking it to a learning hub and featuring the cleaners. They can meet them. This is still in the work in progress, but I meant to go to the video library where they can come and see the cleaners in action. And so it's full of just videos of what we do and how we do it. So you're going to see, and so we will have people call us and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I saw Marvisa's video. I want her to clean my house."
I could see that. I could see that happening.
They feel like they know them, especially like the ones where we feature pets. they're like, oh my God, she was so great with pets. I have 2 big dogs. Like, I would love to have her as my cleaner.
Yeah.
So it is working. Oddly enough, this video right here of winter is one that has thousands of views, thousands. And so they just have a good time. They love being featured. They love it. I think it's really set us apart in our community because you don't see anybody else going this deep, featuring their employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially because it's not just that they're featured, it's that they are the focal point. That
Absolutely.
this is what everything is about.
Yes. And so I'm currently working on the Learning Hub, adding more stuff. My goal is to really have to be that brand to go to for the in Southwest Florida for the know-hows, the how-tos, like how much does cleaning cost? Like what's included in a deep cleaning? And you guys are gonna laugh at me. I do lives all day long for WootRecruit, for Debbie Sardone Consulting. I never get nervous, never. Do you know how long I've been dragging my feet to do these YouTube videos on what's included in a deep clean? I can do a deep clean with my eyes open when I clean. Like, what's the average cost of a cleaning? I drug my feet for months. I was scared. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's weird because it wasn't live.
No, it wasn't live because they're recorded
Yeah,
and they're uploaded to YouTube. They're just short, right?
Yeah.
I think it was because it's featured in my community.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, and I don't know that many people because I haven't lived here that long. I don't know. There was something that like just paralyzed me, right? And I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow.
Well, I wonder if you had a little bit of this. I have a little bit of this, Libby. I have no problem doing something live because if I get it wrong, I can just say, oh yeah, I got that wrong and move on. But with video, I mean, with like something that you're going to post somewhere like YouTube, you have to get it right. And if you don't get it right, you have to redo it. And so it seems so much harder. You can't have, or it's less desirable to have that I just did in a video. You can't have, or it's less desirable. You can't do that. You have to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it? Or is it less desirable? Which one? Pick a plan. You can't do that. You can't do pick a plan. So I don't know if you had any of that.
And so finally I did it. Like finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I got my plan. I'm a big Trello fan. I got my Trello board for my live content, and I'm just running through it. But I stalled forever. And that was like my number one goal. And for Boris too, he wants to be our go-to in the community for how-tos. One thing that is a good suggestion you guys can do is we bonus our technicians if they submit at least a 30-second video that we can use for social media. And they just submit it to us and Boris edits it.
Nice. Joe Walsh does this at Green Clean Maine.
Okay.
Yeah,
our clients love it. It's more real. It's not so scripted.
Yeah.
Like Boris's videos are amazing, but you can obviously tell they're professional.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit more real. So we've started doing that. We've gotten some in. And then we also incentivize our clients to do Instagram videos for us.
When you say you incentivize them, how do you incentivize them?
So we give them money off their next cleaning.
Oh, okay. If
they submit an Instagram video. And like we just had one today. I probably don't even know the login for our Instagram. We just had one today that was amazing. And the girls are so proud. And that was just another way that we brand. Oops, I closed it. That we use video for marketing and branding. Please don't make me put the password.
Now, Libby, are they putting it on their social or yours?
They're putting it on theirs and they're tagging us in it.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. And what we're incentivizing, guys, is not that much.
I love the ones for employees, having them post it on their social, because your potential employees aren't on your Facebook, it's on their Facebook. Right?
Yes.
So it's a big one.
So our employees are not posting it to their Facebook.
Oh,
They're
okay.
just submitting it to Boris.
Gotcha.
Boris is very picky.
But there's something that's to be said about that raw footage, that unedited, that doesn't look too.
Sorry.
No. I was saying I love that the footage that doesn't always look too professional. It just seems more genuine sometimes. So there's good opportunity there as well.
Yeah. And so
I
this
really
is
like the mix too. I like the mix of you got the professional, but you also have this cell phone stuff.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah.
mm-hmm. So this just got submitted 51 minutes ago.
Nice.
And we incentivized that. That was, I think she got $25 off her next cleaning.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that.
And so we do a lot on Instagram. We actually do more on Instagram than we do Facebook.
Everybody says Instagram is the place to be now, right?
Yeah. It just has a younger market, a younger clientele, which is fine because I'm in Southwest Florida, guys, and I'm trying to get the younger people. I do not want the snowbirds.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's just a ton of old people there. So I was wondering why you were targeting younger people when you live with all the old people.
So you saw the video that I showed you of Boris with that very upbeat music. Like that's we're trying to go young and fun and fresher. Why do I target it? Because the snowbirds are a pain in our butt. They leave, right? A lot of them, unfortunately, live on a fixed income. Some of them do have the time to do it themselves, but a lot of them don't see the value in our service because they could get it somewhere else for $60. So we're targeting young working professionals that live here. And a lot of them live here now, but work remotely. I mean, a ton.
Oh, that's a good market.
Yeah. Especially since everybody is probably targeting the older people because that's just the market that you think you're going to have. But you create your own market. And everybody knows that you create your market, that you have to decide what you want and then go after it. Looks like that's what you're doing. Absolutely see how this branding is going to really be attractive to that younger set.
So I will say that I feel that it has helped us so much in our recruiting that I have, and Chris manages it now for me, or somebody does, maybe Ruben, I'm not sure. I spend zero money on Indeed.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm able to market organically, and some of the number one questions that get asked or answers that get asked in our interview is like, why did you apply with us? And they've seen our Instagram. They're like, oh my God, your reviews, you have so many, your employees look so happy. I saw your videos. They're great. You look so organized. Your company's really well put together. I'm like, oh, if they only knew what the office went through. And I'm organizing queen. I try, but the office, it's just that day-to-day craziness.
Yeah. I think everybody knows about that day-to-day whirlwind, right?
Mm-hmm. And my office, I could do a whole nother series on organizing your office staff. You would laugh if you saw what I have set up in my office for reminders. It's funny. It's because I'm so big in learning. They're going to learn. It is not an option here.
It's not an option. I love that.
It's not an option. So I have stuff set up for them to learn on an ongoing basis to cut down the chaos, right? But we're going off on a rabbit trail or squirrel moment. But yeah,
that's also part of your brand, right? So this learning thing, I feel like what you just said ties directly into what you're doing on your social media. You're teaching, you're making sure that everybody's learning about cleaning. Everything is, I feel like this is a very strong value for you, a good, strong core value that even if somebody said, yeah, you need to be doing something different, you'd be like, okay, you'd start doing something different. And very quickly it would turn into a learning environment for people. I don't
Yeah.
think
So I invest a tremendous amount of money in our learning. We have an EOS implementer. I've signed them up for their own learning. Like they're going through a sales course right now. It's a year-long course. So that's not an option here. Oh, and they're also doing all the EOS videos from the EOS conference. So, and they get to pick what they want to do, but it is part of our culture and our brand. You are 100% correct. And I even say that, like, if you don't want to learn, even the cleaning technicians, we have ongoing training. And if you don't like to learn, you're going to hate it here.
Yeah. One of our values is personal growth. And so, yeah, I don't really care how, what, where, but I'll give you lots of opportunity, but you will be getting better. You will be growing if you work for us.
Absolutely.
And so, it looks like you have a PowerPoint.
So I just have, it's actually just some little worksheets, and I think I put the download in there too. Everybody can have it. You have to fill it in. I'm just going to talk you through it. But the reason you're going to fill it in is so you're paying attention and you're really thinking about, employment branding strategy. Do you have a branding strategy? And if you don't, how do I work on getting one? Right? And everyone's brand is different. So, take mine and use it for inspiration. But if you copy it, you'll be hearing from me. So, take it and use it for inspiration. I followed some people on Instagram that I just love their brand, and they weren't cleaning companies at all. I think one was a pest control company in Arizona, and another one was like a nutrition or a cleaning product company on Instagram. But find those brands that currently have that image that really resonate with you, that you're like, oh my God, this is me. This attracts me. I love the look and the feel. And use that for inspiration to create your own brand. So in our worksheet here, I just have a section for notes. And then I have a section, I want to talk about, what is an employer brand, because a lot of people don't even know what an employer brand is. So employer brand, it's a positive brand that communicates that the organization, right, that the company is a good employer and a good place to work. That is what an employment or employee brand represents. It is a good company and a great place to work. And you could see that through those videos and those pictures, right?
Yeah.
Like one of my goals last year was I want sexy uniforms. Like, and everybody's like, you're crazy. Well, not like sexy as in sexy, but like I want them to look good. So I started to use the word sexy in our uniforms. Like, I want you to look good and feel good. Because if you look good, you feel good. So the first thing I changed was really our uniforms. And I went with all black with just a hint of orange. Why did I go with black? Because us girls love black, right? We look good. We look skinny. It's also easy to keep clean.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't have a lot of options. If it's black and white with a little bit of orange, you got a choice between black or white. I feel like they're like, no, they're really right.
Yeah. So
Who's picking white when you got black as an option? That's not happening.
So that, that's what an employer brand is, right? You're conveying that this is a great company and a great place to work.
Okay.
I have not seen this negatively hurt our marketing whatsoever with our outward facing marketing. So when I'm talking about our marketing to clients, I have not seen this affect. We have not gotten any negativity at all, except for maybe like somebody likes what's her name in that video. But they don't know their names, right? So, but we got weird stuff like that before I did this kind of marketing anyways. But we haven't had any negative feedback on our marketing. If anything, the clients see it and they're like, that's my cleaner. And their friend or their neighbor goes, oh my gosh, I want to hire a cleaning company. Oh, I want your cleaner too. Because they love to shout out their cleaners.
Yeah.
On our Facebook and Instagram page. So that has even helped even more. So, to get started, right, it starts with the company. And there's a few things here that we have to really look at when it comes to company. And I have this fun little pin and I'm going to try to use it. And I still have not gotten the hang of it, right? And so the reason I have the worksheet is so you guys can download it and write your own thing in here. But when it comes to employer branding, the first thing you have to figure out is you have to know your company. You have to know your business. So in here, right, and I'm going to see if I can write in this box, we have to look at, well, first I have to get my pin up. We have to look at what is your vision for the company? And I know everybody's like, oh God, people always talk about vision and all these things. So in the first box, we're going to put vision. And I'm going to attempt to write in here, and I can't write.
I don't know. I kind of like watching you do it. It's kind of fun.
It's fun, right? I have to put it up here. I'm trying to do it down low, and it's not working. So we have to really look at our vision and what is the vision of our company. This is going to be so fun. The vision of our company. You love that?
There you go.
Got it.
Wow. Right. And then you need to look at your mission. What is the mission? Because the vision is where do I want to go? And the mission, I should have just typed these in here. And the mission is where we're currently at and what we're doing every day. Right. And so this is knowing the organization. Next, we have to have our values. Just like Liz said, those are our values. She just saw in all those videos. Those were our values. It's teaching, it's featuring our employees, and our employees come first. So you have to have your values. And the next one is, and we all love this one, and so many people I talk to don't know how to figure it out. I'm trying to write with this pen. You guys, this is hilarious. It's your culture. Ooh, what's your culture? And everyone's like, well, I don't have one, or I don't know what it is. How do I? And I said, when I started, I was my culture. It was me. It was Libby. And it going through EOS, it has changed because we redid our actually vision, mission, values. We redid all that because the office now has a piece of it. So you really want to look at your company. You have to know the company and really know it so that you can portray this publicly. Because if you don't have that already, that image and that look in your head, you're going to be posting like just an array of different themes, different colors. Like you're not even going to know which way to go. So it's not going to be.
It's not going to be a clear message.
It's not going to be a clear message, especially over all the platforms.
Right.
Right. So granted, our posts are different on Instagram than they are on Facebook, but they're the same clear message.
Yeah.
With the same type of images. And so from there, from knowing the company, right, there are 4 things that are super important to really create a strategy. I can write in this box. It's way bigger. Right? The first one you want to do is research. And everybody's like, research? Like, what am I researching? So you want to do research. So you want to conduct internal research and you want to conduct external research. So you want to learn how to position the company in relation to your competition, right? That's your external research. So it's really learning like what is my local competition not doing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use that same stock picture. Oh my God, I see it everywhere of the cleaners in the green overalls or the green aprons.
The yellow gloves.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yellow gloves. I'm like,
We all know it. Yeah.
we all know it. I probably was guilty of using it too. So you want to conduct research. You want to conduct external research. How can I position myself different against my competitors? So research, right? You might conduct it through surveys, through internet search, through social media. You might hire somebody, right? You could hire someone to do this for you. And then you want to conduct internal research. So that's really understanding the company as it's perceived by your current employees.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
How do they perceive the company, right? Is it well targeting or is it targeting your potential applicants well? So you really want to understand, how is it being perceived by my current employees, and how's it being perceived by my current applicants? And you can do what we do through the applicants through the interview process, because we ask some really pointed questions. And so that's how we got a perception of how our company's perceived through that recruiting process. And then through the current employees, you can do, I think they're called NDSs, they're Employee Promoter Score, ENDS, an Employee Net Promoter Score. You can make your own survey, super simple. You can do other surveys, SurveyMonkey. You can do one-to-ones.
You can use it with Quality Driven. They have a way to do it now too.
Do they? I use Quality Driven. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do.
I love the email that goes out now every week.
Yeah, well, you're not the only one. A lot of people are loving that, right? You can also, so one thing that I know that a lot of people do is they just use a quick like a job form survey that just asks this question. It's so simple, but asking this question of people that currently work for you is super helpful. And that is 3 words that you think of when you think of our company, right? So if you're getting the words chaos, change, I can't even think of another bad word, but I was just talking with somebody and they're like, so chaotic. Say it again.
Disorganized.
Yeah, disorganized. Well, then you know, right? Well, good. This is the image that we're portraying right now to our current people. This is our culture, whether we like it or not. So,
and that's a great example. You don't even know what your culture is to your current employees.
Yeah.
You might have one thing in your head.
Yeah.
And it might be something totally different to them.
So I heard this definition of culture one time, and it was it's still my favorite. It's not complete. There is no complete one-liner for culture that I've heard yet. But my favorite one is your culture is your people. So how your people act, what your people do, what the people themselves, that's your culture. What you see the people doing is your culture, like it or not. What you see them saying is your culture. Your culture are your people. It's your people. And I haven't been able to find a culture where that was not true. Sometimes people will say, no, this is my culture. You know what? It really isn't, because this is what your people are doing. So guess what? That's your actual culture. That's just what you hope your culture will be. It's what you want it to be. This is what you've made it kind of look like, but it's not what your culture is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to be careful with this idea of branding. A lot of times people think, and I know you're really going deep on here, which I think is super helpful, but a lot of times people think that branding is, so Libby's brand is black and white with orange. They think it's color, right? They think it is the font. That's not what your brand is. Your brand is much more, it's deeper. It's your vision, your mission, your values. All of that stuff contributes to what your culture is. So I'm loving this, Libby. All right, we got research in the first box.
We got a couple more spots.
One more thing about research I really have to say. One of the things when you are doing research on your external companies, this is an amazing thing to look for, y'all. Look for the things that the companies that are outside of you, what they don't want to do. Do the things that they don't want to do, because when you do them, they're never going to try and take them over. They don't want to do those things. That's an awesome strategy for holding on to a really strong culture that nobody's trying to infringe on, because we've all been there where no matter what I do, pretty soon everybody else hears about it and then they start doing it and I have to shift again, right? And I have to do something better. Then they do that and then I have to do something better. If you choose the things that they don't want to do, you don't have that problem.
No, and I will tell you, like I said, that Marcus Sheridan, the Ask You Answer, starting that YouTube series. Oh my God, now I know why nobody does it.
So much work.
It was just like, So the next topic I want to talk about is your proposition, right? Define an employee value proposition. What's that proposition? So The proposition, it clearly communicates the value of the brand and the company that it's developing, right? The employee brand should truly reflect what is special about the company and be in line with the customer brand. So what's your proposition, right? Define an employee value proposition. So clearly communicate the value of the brand. It clearly communicates the value of the brand, right? And that the organization is developing, right? We're young, we're trendy, we're growing. We got hip music on our stuff. But besides that, how are we different?
I think sometimes people get messed up with the proposition too, because a lot of times it's portrayed as the unique value prop, right? The UVP. And so when they think of that, they're like, how can I be unique? I mean, everybody's kind of doing the same things, aren't they? No, they're not doing every single thing the same. You don't have to have everything different. You just have to have something that sets you apart and that people can point at and say, oh, look at that.
Just that slight edge.
Yeah, and that's cool. It just has to be that thing.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Liz. The other day I was talking to somebody and I had posted a post in our $1 Million Hiring Strategies Facebook group. And I had put, you cannot sell your brand or your job if the person that's selling it is not sold, 100% sold on it. Sold so point that there's irrational because there's no better job in the world.
Yeah.
And I said, really think about what is making your company different. I love to make people think. I love to make them uncomfortable. I push them. So if you see some of my Facebook comments, I'm like, so what makes you different? It's only because I want you to think about it. And, someone responded, oh, we have nights and weekends off. I'm like, and my reply was, so does Molly Maids. Because I'm trying to get you to think. I'm trying to make you uncomfortable. She goes, oh, well, we have paid time off. I'm like, so does MaidPro. And so this was a conversation. I said, I just want you to think if I'm looking at an ad, right? Or because an ad is marketing and I'm looking at you and I'm looking at MaidPro and you pay me the same, but they give me nights off and they give me nights off and they give me weekends off. And so do you. That's not a value proposition.
Yeah.
You have
we live in a little tiny city and there are no other franchise companies there. And the only other company that's in your area makes their people work every other weekend and has them working sometimes until 8 o'clock at night. Okay, that can work for you if that's what's going on in your city. But that's going to be rare. Nowadays, that's not what you're going to be seeing most places. Everybody's kind of following the same trend. We're all saying that there's no nights and no weekends. We're all saying some of these. I remember when I first started saying unlimited time off, people were at first, they were like, oh my gosh, that's insane, Liz, you can't do that. I'm like, absolutely, I'm giving unlimited time off. Now, at least 50% of the companies that I know of give unlimited time off. It's time for a shift. And that's not unique anymore. People are giving unlimited time off. How about unlimited paid time off? That's a new thing I've recently seen.
That's a work for you, Liz.
Yeah. That's a new thing. Yeah.
And so, and then in that conversation, she's like, I can't afford to do anything else. And so that's where people start to get a little, like their view gets a little skewed because it doesn't necessarily cost you money.
Yeah.
Right. To have a value proposition, to be different, to offer something different. It doesn't necessarily cost you money.
Yeah. It doesn't have to. It can, but it doesn't have to.
Yeah. So the next one is marketing strategy, right? So you need to develop your employee marketing strategy. It really needs to be, first, right? It helps with that recruitment strategy, even though you won't think it will, it does. So you really want to have a strategy. So if we do this, how are we going to use it? Are we going to put it on our social media page? Are we going to make a careers page? Because remember, this is employment branding.
Right.
How are we going to position it? to get traction and work, and what are we going to do with it? So you need to have that marketing strategy for that employment side. So it can really, from the employee value position, it can really help retain and engage your employees.
What I love about it as well is that you have the internal customer. I mean, your employees, your internal customers that they have a buy-in, but now you get to get their family to have a buy-in by showcasing them. When their family gets to see that, hey, this isn't just, I'm not wiping my baby's not wiping toilet bowls. Here's a fun company. They're investing in them. I'm okay with them being here, because a lot of times we lose people because their families buy in.
We lose people because they look down on what they do, but not if they're a rock star and they're featured on everything.
Absolutely.
You'll never see me say I'm the rock star, because I don't want to go clean.
Make them a hero.
So that 100% is true. Because we employ a lot of women. I do have some men, but a lot of women, and their family look down on them being a cleaning technician. So besides being able to pay them well, we've tried to position them as that expert, right? And I've employed Latino cleaners, and they're featured in our videos. And they're like, oh, but we don't speak English. I don't care. Speak Spanish, honey. I'll use subtitles. I want to feature you as well, like equally.
Libby, the thing that you're doing with YouTube right now, answering these questions, I wonder if you have an opportunity to get some of your team members doing video. Because I had one of my team members, she was against video, and now she loves it because people are like, oh, you're the one on the video. But they get to show that to their family as well. Like, oh, you are the subject matter expert, kind of like what you just said there.
Yeah. So it's definitely helping us. And then the last thing is, I'm getting better with the pin, guys.
Yeah, you are.
Well, because I usually use an iPad, and so my iPad's broken. So align, right? It has to all align. It has to align with your employment brand, your employee brand, and your overall company brand have to align. We had said that earlier. If I'm an applicant applying somewhere and I go look at your Facebook or your website and it isn't aligned with what you said or the pictures you put on Indeed, it's going to affect your show rate. It's going to affect your costs because you're spending a tremendous amount on Indeed.
Yeah.
It has to align everywhere. It has to align in the way you reply to Google reviews. Like, we love Cheyenne. She's amazing too. Or we love Cheyenne too. She's amazing. Because the power of social media and technology has really changed the way applicants vet us.
100%.
Yeah.
Because they're reading those reviews, like they are 100% reading those reviews, those comments, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So, lastly, right, so you want to develop and use some metrics. And so this is, if you develop and use metrics, it will highly affect 3 areas. And these are the metrics you want to use to measure, but it will also affect these 3 areas. So it's going to affect your quality of hire. I pushed the button. There's a button on the side. So it'll affect your quality of hire. 100%. So you can use that to develop a metric on, like, are we getting some duds here? Oh my gosh, I'm getting a whole bunch of unqualified applicants. So once you develop this and then you use metrics, it will 100%, you want to track the success of the employment brand. And the way you track it is by looking at quality of hires, employee satisfaction, and you can do that again by the surveys. And I spelled employee wrong. So I'm just
what you mean.
My iPad is much easier to write with. Employee satisfaction, I'm going to skip satisfaction. And the last one that is the most powerful that we are just now seeing happen to us within this year is employee referrals. We have at least 3 new hires that we didn't even recruit for. And you know where they came to us from?
Your employees.
No.
Oh, we were assuming referrals.
Clients, right?
The husbands of our employees. Three current hires in this last year that have stayed that are amazing. No, it's been less. I think it's in the last 6 months. Their husbands told their friends, and those friends told their wives.
Well, that is unique. That is a new thing right there. That is very interesting.
And we track this because we track where everybody comes from. Just like you track your leads, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, I can't write. I'm going to give up.
SAT, we know what that means. We got it. Satisfaction.
So just like you track your leads, we track all of this stuff so that we have the data to figure out, is our employee brand working? Is our brand working? Is it helping us sell the job and sell the service? And so the last page is just for some notes again. So lastly, because we're coming up on time, the one thing I do want to say and leave you guys with before we go into some questions is you want to make sure that the people in your organization, the management, are practicing and supporting this brand. And this may take coaching and training, compensation, you name it, but you have to make sure the office is portraying this brand, that they're living it, breathing it, sleeping and eating it, because they're the people hiring your staff. They're the people training them and onboarding them.
Yeah.
And so that is the biggest thing we see in WootRecruit and then in the consulting side and coaching, that when it doesn't align, and it doesn't align often, and I've been guilty of it too, if the wheels fall off the bus.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah. Wish it wasn't true, but it is. Yeah. Libby, you said that you had given that your template somewhere. Where did you send that?
I think I just put it in the chat in Facebook.
All right.
I'll drop it in there.
I'll try and find it and get it out to everybody. Yeah, I don't see it in there.
I'm sure drawing with the real pen will be much easier.
Well, and I think that you gave a great outline there, but now everybody has to go in there and fill those boxes in. What's your vision? Don't just be like, okay, I need to know vision, mission, values, right? What is your vision? Fill that box in. Fill in what the mission is. I think it's super useful and beneficial. I'm so glad you came on and shared this with everybody today, Libby. I think it's really helpful also for people to have something to follow. It seems so hard to people, it's like, it's so much to think of. Oh, that's a lovely little, what's that called? Delay right there. That was a lovely little delay. All right. So, are you frozen? Oh, frozen for a second. Or am I frozen?
No, I'm not. Are you here?
Yeah, I see you too. It's Olu. He's a little frozen.
He's frozen.
Yeah. He's
like the snowman, right? From Frozen.
Yeah. Oh, he's frozen again. Boy, he freezes well, right? When I freeze, my face does not look like that. I do not.
At all.
No. All right. So, Libby.
Is it me? That was me.
Yeah, it's you. That one wasn't as good with your tongue sticking out.
Yeah, I'm kind of going in and out.
Yeah, you are. All right. So, Libby, I would love it if you could sort of wrap up. There we go. Thank you. That's awesome. We'll have you guys see that Libby just shared her little template for you to go in, fill out, and begin creating the brand that you believe in for your company. So tell us, though, Libby, I would love it if you would sort of wrap this up. If people wanted to start somewhere, where should they start? They're like, okay, I see that this is all important. Should they start making videos? Should they get brand new uniforms? What would you recommend? Where would you recommend people start?
So this is going to sound really repetitive and old, but I would start with really looking at your core values. They are so important. And when I first started, I copied core values from somebody, right? Because I didn't know what to put.
Didn't know.
Really breaking that process down, because you cannot portray your brand, whether it's your client brand or your employee brand, if you don't have those clear values of your company defined. And remember, core values are for employees, right? They're not for clients. And we didn't really learn how important they were, honestly, until we went through that EOS process, and my team helped us build them. So really looking at those core values, because once you get your head around what our values are of this company, you can start to portray that in images and in colors, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we are absolutely out of time, and I really have like 10 more questions that I know I can't ask. So
go ahead.
Thank you so much for being here today, Libby. You guys heard it. Start with your values. Go a real quick, if you don't have any core value cards, real quick, go do a search on values list. It's a great place to start. I just posted one in one of my strategic success circles today. So it's important. Absolutely important. All right, y'all. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.